Hello everyone and welcome to layout update number 26. I'd like to take a minute just to say happy 4th of July to everybody and also to thank all the men and women in our armed services for protecting this wonderful country that we live in. Thank you for putting your lives on the line so we can enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy every day. And thank you to the families whose family members have unfortunately made the ultimate sacrifice to defend this great nation that we live in. Thank you all, and I hope you guys all enjoy the 4th. As you can see here, the first thing I'm going to show you is this is the battleship USS New Jersey. This is a mahogany model, and it's approximately 39 inches long. Now, I went to a train show in Edison, New Jersey back in March, and one of the layouts there had a Z-scale, it was an N-scale version of the USS New Jersey along with the N-scale trains. I thought that it was just the coolest thing, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to see if I can duplicate that on my layout. The only problem is, in order to get an actual O-scale battleship, an Iowa-class battleship, I figured it out, and it would be approximately 18 feet long and 4 feet high. Now, to give you guys an idea, this wall to that wall is about 24 feet. So what that would mean is the battleship, if I were to get it in O scale, would take up pretty much the entire back end of the layout. Not to mention what it would cost to get something that close to accurate. So I went with something which was a little bit more realistic price-wise. Unfortunately, size-wise, it doesn't make it really. If you look right here, this is the SD90, and you can see with the battleship in the background, the size difference. What I'm hoping for is kind of having an optical illusion so that it looks like it's set further back in the distance. I'm going to try, see how it works. I've gotten a few Jeeps and whatnot and some other details, parts that I'm going to use. We're going to see how it's going to work. This used to be where the oil refinery was. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to give it a shot. Hopefully it looks good. If it doesn't, I'll just nix it and put it on display in my office. But either way, I mean, it's a very cool model. The detail is very nice on it. And I think it would look nice on the layout if I can make it work. We're going to see. We're going to give it a shot. One of the other things you can see here is I decided to go with an elevated subway system because this area, I won't say too much because like I've told you guys before, I'm trying to keep it secret. But I will say this much, it's going to be a city area. It's going to look like a city, and that's all I'll say for now. So this will be an elevated subway, and the trestles that it sits on right now are just an old Lionel set that I had, and I was doing that just to see how it would work, getting the scale down, seeing if the trains would go under it and how much clearance I would need. Right now, I think it's going to work out just the way I want it to. I'm going to replace these trestles with the trestles from Bridge Boss. I saw them at York. I really liked the stuff that they have over there, and I will be placing an order soon. Now, like I told you guys, the work on the layout has pretty much kind of come to a standstill because I'm waiting on a few key buildings. Once these buildings come in, I'll be able to start detailing the yard and also detailing the city area. So it's one of those things where I can only do so much. And this section here, I want to start working on it, but if I'm going to be climbing over and trying to get into the subway area, it's going to make it difficult. So I might hold off on that. One of the things I have done though is I've changed the farm area, and right here is the Halloween town. This really hasn't changed much at all, if anything has changed. To me, I think I haven't touched it. I got some scenescapes that I'm going to put in at York in the springtime, but other than that, really hasn't been anything done to it. But right here is the farm, and I kind of like the layout that the design that I've come up with. This section where all the cars are, I'm going to make that kind of looking like a forest, maybe with some kids playing hide and seek, or I don't know yet. I want to put a lot of trees there and have like a trail that leads into the back entrance right there into the farm. And I'll put the apple trees that I used to have up, and I'll also put the animals in. But for right now, I'm holding off because, again, believe it or not, this section really will dictate the entire left side of the layout. So I got to be careful with what I do. I like this setup that I've come up with for the farm. and I have enough room so that way tractors or cars or whatnot could get to the actual house, and that's why you see these cars right here. It's to give me a scale, that way if I were to have a tractor pulling through, it would look accurate. So that's pretty much the way the farm layout is going to stay. I do like where I put the grain silo. I relocated. If you guys remember, on the old layout, it used to be in that section over there. Another thing I did is I relocated the Hershey factory. Originally, I had it in that corner right there, but what I've done is I put the American flag factory there, and I think it works out a little bit better because it's a bigger building and it gives it a little bit more room. And I wanted to leave that section open for the yard, for possible buildings or cars or what have you. And another thing which is going to get done within the next month or two is I'm going to have a control board built for all the switches, because it's basically impossible to remember which switch control box goes to which switch. So that's going to be something that's in the works as well. Again, so you can see why right now there hasn't been a lot of work done to the layout, because there's certain key components which have to be filled before I can move forward. Another thing is I've just been really busy with work in my personal life, and unfortunately the layout has taken a little bit of a back seat. A few other new additions to the layout are these Miller Engineering signs. One is the Union Pacific sign and one is the GE sign. Not sure where I'm going to put the Union Pacific sign just yet. I know I'm going to keep it somewhere close to the yard, so if you guys have some suggestions about that, please feel free to shoot them out there. Would love to hear what you think. A couple other new items. I got the MTH Union Pacific bus. I got the Union Pacific Tahoe K9 unit, and a Union Pacific pickup truck with railroad ties in it. Now, another thing I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks is I'm going to be rewiring the entire underneath section of the layout. I decided to go with these MTH 24 port terminal blocks. Reason being is on the back end of the layout, I was starting to realize that the MTH engines that I have were losing signal, and sometimes they would take off, sometimes they would get stuck back there. So you can imagine how annoying it is to climb up on the layout, pick up the engine, pull it back, move the cars. It got to be frustrating after a while. And there were a few times where the engine just took off and headed straight for the wall. So last thing I want is one of my really nice MTH engines to be running right into that wall there. So I decided that I'm going to go with this rewiring process. It will take a while to get it done, and trains won't be running, but I think it's going to be something that's worthwhile in the long run. The last thing I will show you guys is my brand new Lionel Union Pacific SD45 engine. I literally just unboxed this an hour ago, so I unfortunately can't give you guys a review of it. I haven't even run it yet. All I did was put it on the track and program it and just test all the features to see if they work. So far, from what I've seen and heard, it sounds great, and it runs, well, can't really tell you that because it's run from about right there to where it is now. Just testing everything, seeing if everything works. I haven't even tested the smoke unit yet. So the couplers work, the sounds work, it goes forward and backwards, but that's pretty much all I can tell you guys. I do like the way they've done the number boards. Now with engine number 1, there's a little bit more space. So when it is lit up, it looks like the light is really coming out of there. And I think that's a nice touch. Overall, the detail, as you would expect from a Lionel engine, is great. And I hope to get a video of it running very soon. But that's really about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free. Love to hear what you guys think. I want to welcome all my new subscribers and thank everybody who's been watching me for a while for always commenting. And again, I wish everybody a happy, safe, and healthy 4th of July.